Welcome back. You're watching the special highlights from the NDTV Property Awards 2014. The real estate business in India has had its share of troubles ever since the global economic meltdown in 2008. And that has proved one thing true for this industry, that it's all about the survival of not just the fittest but also the smartest. In a candid chat with the Gen Next of Indian real estate, who dared to risk it all to make a mark in this business, Manisha Natarajan, editor real estate at NDTV, gets the young faces of the industry to open up about their passions and their confessions.
Who do I start grilling first? It's not going to be like an AIB roast for sure. I'll make sure that I only do ask decent questions so it can make it on television and not get barred by the censors. Okay, so first question to you, Gitambar. How do you get work done in such a dheela industry?
Why do you call it dheela?
It is dheela, come
No,
on.
yeah.
मेरे flat abhi ready nahi hue. It's taken 5 years, come on, come on.
No, actually, if your intent is right and you have the right plan and plan means right intent with the right plan to do things the right way, it's not so difficult, Manisha.
It's not too difficult?
Well, there are challenges and there are challenges in every business. Ours, we've become so used to being bashed and battered all the time. I think we are the strongest in all industry, and this real estate industry, I think it's by far the guys who are in this business can withstand shocks and jolts and batterings much more than any other industrialist.
Okay, so that's the...
I still keep smiling on your show.
Mantra. Yes, you keep smiling and they can withstand all the bashing that they get. Boman, what's your work secret?
Very simply, Manisha, I think, once you're in an industry where you feel that you're providing homes for people, which is actually such a noble task that you're doing, it automatically fills you with all the enthusiasm that you need. I believe that there's a strong differentiation we've got to make amongst what is called the normal builders and the developers who are now associated with, CREDAI across the country, including MCHI CREDAI for all our MMR friends out here. When you associate and when you practice the good practices that, we at CREDAI continuously ask our members to do, it makes it that much easier. And most importantly, I believe at Rustomjee, we create a platform where you can come and excel. And for people, if they're given an opportunity to perform well, I have seen that nobody wants to really do a substandard job. Everybody has to take pride. So you create the platform, you create the guidelines, and you give people the pride of a job well done. And I can tell you they'll go way out of their way and really perform beautifully. And that's the only secret I have.
Mayur Shah, you would agree with that? Come on, there has to be something beyond just all these nice things. There has to be one secret mantra that you can talk to the audience about, which nobody knows.
It's not money.
It's not money? Oh, come on.
Manisha, it's basically, in real estate, you really need to deal with too many people. That's one of the thing which, makes it dhila. Because, you have to go from the landowner to the architects, to licensing people, to the various approving agencies, and they are quite dhila, and they take lots and lots of your time, and that looks real estate industry dhila. But then ultimately, the people behind, like an orchestra, we have to really look into each and every segment to deliver homes on time.
I really like that analogy, like an orchestra. It's literally getting it all right, and a whole large team before a project can be delivered and an outstanding project can be delivered. Okay, he talked about government agency. Tell me, there has to be one line or something that works for getting the government on your side, Gitambar. What is it?
But definitely it's wake up and Because, what we have always been shouting about is that we can actually contribute to a very great extent in the development of the nation. Contribution to GDP, jobs. We are one of the single largest employers of even uneducated Indians. We can actually spur the manufacturing sector. So we want to tell them is please wake up and use us, partner with us to grow, for this country to grow. Okay,
that's the line that you're going to use. What is the line you currently use to get all your permissions? Is there a line?
Please give us our permission sooner. I mean, what can you say to them? You're always like that, please. But then I think, we have put across our point quite effectively. And the government has realized that there is pain as far as the permissions go. So they have created this single window clearance committee. Now, I just got news today that Mr. Balwinder Kumar, the current VC of DDA, is going to chair this committee, wherein our approvals will, they'll see to it or try to see to it that they become faster.
Boman? So team has to come together, all of that. Everybody has to actually play an orchestra very, very well. But you must like something about being your own master as well, isn't it?
Manisha, one of the best things about our industry is when you can walk across to your creation and actually look at it. And then when you walk in over there and you see all these people having a great life because of what you've created. When you look at the little children playing, which is where Rustomjee really, continuously decides to move more and more towards family-oriented homes. When you see little children playing when they're swimming in their swimming pool, when you know that they're safe and sound in what's your work, your creation, you really feel a sense of great pride. You feel a sense of great happiness.
Okay.
And like Gitambar said, it's all beyond money. Beyond a certain point, it's about the creation of wealth. It is for yourself. It is for, the people that have invested or have bought into your projects. It is for that brand that you create. And finally, it is for the world to see the creation that one can put up against all the adversity that by and large the world knows about at this moment in time. And being your own master, I think everyone should be their own master, right? Even in whatever small way that they can. So if there's an opportunity to create out there, we again at, in most of the good institutions, go out and give an opportunity.
Okay, Mayusha. So he spoke about certain things, driving, nurturing, entrepreneurship. You tell us, what are some of the values that you closely hold and which really work to actually deliver excellence in this sector?
Manisha, we always look up Apple as a role model. The kind of product which they can continuously deliver, continuously innovate. And we at Marathon would really strive to come up with the product design so that the people who are going to use it, they will be surprised. They will always be overwhelmed. We never thought something like this has been delivered in form of a design, in the form of construction technology, in the speed of the delivery, and the after sales and during the process of the sale, the service provided. That's the thing which we always would like to strive to achieve.
Okay, now everything's got so serious. Everybody is just talking about excellence and exciting and interesting
You started
things.
it, yeah.
I thought these questions are going to be actually draw you out to say, so let's start with something absolutely crazy. Gitambar, what's the craziest thing you've done?
Oh, in real estate or in my life?
Both. Let's hear both. In real estate, let's start with
In real estate, the craziest thing I've done is, in 2008, June, I went and bought a piece of land for 300 crores and I didn't have any money. And I told the guy I'll pay him in 2 months. It was so crazy. And eventually we could do it. That's the best part. So that was really crazy. And in hindsight, in retrospect, I marvel at my courage to have made such a deal and such a commitment and honored it also. I must say thanks to my bankers and everybody else who supported us. But it was crazy to go in 2008. It was one of the worst periods of real estate and I went and did that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Boman? What's the craziest thing you've done?
I got into this industry.
See, that's the craziest thing.
Very honestly, if you ask me what are the craziest things I've done, I think it was on two wheels. I used to be a motorcycle fan. I used to ride for almost like 600-700 kilometers a day, and it used to start in the morning at 7. And those were the days when you had these two-stroke motorcycles called Yazdi, and I used to just ride and ride and ride. And I think that gave me a lot of...
And all the girls were behind him riding.
And he got the best one too.
Yeah, he did.
I'm lucky, what can I say?
We all got the best ones to ourselves. My wife is watching me.
He just scored brownie points. Yeah, but Manisha, I think those days, the sense of balance that you get on a motorcycle, the sense of freedom that you get, the sense of, peace that you're at with yourself when you're riding, I think one can achieve that equilibrium in today's day and age also, which reminds me, I have to go back to motorcycling again. There are so many beautiful brands available in the country.
I know.
Maybe that'll help.
Okay. What about you? Is there any work disaster that you can laugh about, think about, and say, hey, it was a great learning experience and now I've moved on?
I think I'll also go back similar to, Gitambar in the year of 2008. I think many of the developers would have done very big mistakes. And we also, we thought let's do a very tall, high-rise towers, and we got roped in one of the best world-class designer, designed a very luxurious building in Mulund, almost 42-story and all. And we stuck with this Lehman Brothers.
Huh.
And the price of the unit was 4 crore, and I think the market crashed by almost 40%.
Oh, God.
And the entire thing, we had to go back to the drawing board, and we had to relaunch a project for 55 lakh flats.
My goodness.
But he saw it through. See,
Very
that's
through.
real estate for you.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, a
Big hand
Big
of
hand
applause.
for that. Absolutely. Okay, so I keep hearing constantly from developers, it is so difficult to do this business. There's no money left in this business at all now. So I'm going to ask this question. Kitambar, if not real estate, suppose you had to choose something else to do, what would you do?
No, I would still do. I would do.
Ah,
No, Manisha. If the kind of freedom I get going to my sites, I haven't had that experience anywhere else. So I would be probably a contractor for Boman or Mayur. They'll pay me in time. I know that. Yeah. Or Irfan. For that
What
matter.
about you? What would you have done?
I think
You have been a biker. You already said that. But other than that.
I would choose. I'd be a beach bum maybe, or if I had my way, I think education is something very close to our hearts. So we'd get big time into educating and training the people to have a better life for themselves, and also move this great country to its full potential, and hopefully see. I'd gone for a little speech by this girl called Shaheen Mistry. And she mentioned, and I want to say this to every one of you, she mentioned a very audacious goal. She said, by 2050, every Indian child will be educated. And someone,
Wow.
one of the high and mighty powerfuls asked her and said, listen, so many million people, so many kids, so many places, how does one go about doing that? And she answered in one line. She said, if Martin Luther King or Mahatma Gandhi had started off with an Excel sheet, they wouldn't have achieved what they've achieved. Some things just have to be done. And I think to reach our full potential, we need to, all of us, work together to provide skills to all our people that will allow us to kind of grow leaps and bounds. So yeah, that's definitely something I'd do.
Education, great. And absolutely, Excel sheets have to be chucked away. The top-down business plan, bottoms-up business plan, everything looks so rosy. And then, of course, all the PE investors who are sitting on one side of the table, who are part of the jury, look at the numbers and say, okay, now, should we charge 22% or 24% or 28%? What can we get away with?
Those Excel sheets are what got us into all the trouble in the first place.
All the trouble in the first place. Anjali is there. I do know that the audience also has a few questions.
Yes,
Anjali?
absolutely. We have our dear old friend Sameer Jasuja here. Would you like to ask a question?
Sameer is so tired of answering questions on the show that he's decided to ask questions today. Sameer, go ahead.
So the other thing that I would have done other than real estate would have been Bollywood. So I would like to ask any of the panelists that if they had to choose a brand ambassador for their company today, who do they think will be the right actor?
Or actress.
Or
Why not?
actor is also an actress.
Okay, all right. So Baman, start with you. That's got him.
So let's keep Hollywood out of Bollywood out of it. I think in the Hollywood space, the guy who plays the new Bond, definitely, because that's a brand we identify with. The young, able go-getter.
Okay, what about you?
I'd choose you. Absolutely. So much credibility. Top
Oh my
NDTV
God,
Property
no.
Show and Manisha ho gaya fir to abhi bas.
Okay, Mayur, you're not supposed to say me, anybody else. Come on,
No,
there has to
yeah,
be somebody.
I would really choose you as our brand ambassador.
Mayur, you're not getting away with that answer. Last answer, and then we're going to wrap
Steven
up.
Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg? I mean, he's a director, but you would choose him?
Yeah, it's the way he innovatively thinks, the beyond something, that really inspires me.
Okay, so all thinking developers, nobody has chosen the hotshot Priyanka Chopra and the Kareena Kapoors. Vikram, are you surprised? Yes, he is. Vikram Chandra, Group CEO, right up. Vikram, we have Shahrukh Khan as our brand ambassador for NDTV Prime.
Well, seeing as we do have a chance of getting you to be brand ambassadors and thinking of a new revenue model now for the NDTV group. So we'll talk. We'll talk.
Sure.
Gentlemen, thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
joining
There's
me.
a Delhi
for this
circle,
discussion.
he gets Bombay circle, I'll take.
Be done.
Thank you. Thank you.